Hey, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Peace Meds. Today, I am joined by one of my dear friends, Pearl Bertrand. She is a teacher, a healer. She is a shamanic sister in every sense of the word. She's a master wand maker of many of her talents. She has an unbelievable amount of talents.
Thank
But
you.
today, we're going to focus on her wand making. Pearl, why don't you tell me a little bit about your Academy of Energy Healers and what y'all do and what services you provide?
Okay, yes, great. A number of years ago, maybe five, six, a dear friend of mine and I co founded the Academy of Energy Healers because at that time I thought I would stop doing healing practice and go over to just teaching. I'm going to be a teacher, which I had been for a while, but it didn't quite work out that way. And so I continued to do healing, and we just started training classes that we had learned and that we were able to be teachers for. So it was a broad number of things. There might be 50 plus different courses and classes and processes and things that we do with people, and we still have healings that we do, sometimes
Yes.
over Zoom, sometimes someone comes in person, not as much now.
Now, well, yeah, well, with COVID, everything's kind of we're
Yeah.
redefining and redoing our whole entire lives and moving into our 5D lifestyle.
Yeah.
We're getting away from the 3D rat race
Yeah.
and moving into more of a heart-centered, heart-based community and lifestyle and teachings. And I do believe what's happening with this last year really may end up being a blessing if you allow it to be, and to
Yes.
see where you can slow down in your life, where you can stop being busy
Yeah.
and get back to what's real and what's important and get closer to the family. And whether that's a family of choice or a family of that you were birthed into, but the tribes are really coming together right now, Pearl. They're
Yes, that's
really.
true. Yeah.
And so, have you noticed in this last year how things are being moved almost effortlessly so that your purpose and your plan is coming together without you putting much energy into it?
That's interesting that you uh, suggest that. And the quick answer is yes. And the slow answer is I thought something about about what was going on, and I rushed into a couple of other at home businesses that
Yes.
that still reach out to others, that still help other people. They just look different than Academy of Energy Healers. And yet, if I go back to basics, they're still assisting others to heal in a different way. Yeah, I
Well,
think that
there's many paths of healing.
yes.
There's not just one path of healing. And I think one of the things that we're really coming out of with this 220 is I've noticed that a lot of people have canceled their doctor's visits
Oh,
because they don't want to go and be around an area where they consider it might have contamination.
yep.
So a lot of people and a lot of surgeries. I know people that needed surgeries, life-saving surgeries that were put off because the hospital themselves were slowing everything down. So in this um I don't know, I want to say a McDonald's style drive-through medicine where you're just pumping people, and here's your pills, and here's your pills, and here's your pills. Everything, even in that realm, slowed down. And people started looking in, okay, well, there's this big nasty germ out there. What can I do to improve my immune system? How can I eat better? Maybe I should start walking a little bit. Maybe I should. And I do believe there's been some interesting changes, and we are moving, even though we're ripping the band aid off to do it, we're moving into a 5D reality.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring up, y'all don't know Pearl the way I know Pearl. Pearl knew one day she flipped a switch. She had a very corporate life.
Yes.
You almost won't believe her background. I mean, not even at all. And very successful at every avenue that you took.
Yes.
And you stepped away from that to follow this shamanic path, and you dove in. You dove in.
Yes. Yes.
So what was it like to switch, make that? And you did this, what, about 5 years ago?
It was a gradual process. So I would
Okay.
say that when I hit 52 to 55, I already had quite a number of classes because I just wanted to keep learning. And by the time I hit 60, then I'm just already teaching and shifting, and I learned how to make wands, and uh, um, I got more classes. I had people that supported me, and like it was just amazing. And I did come from a background of lawyer, law office,
Mm.
law related things, and even a law librarian. So much education um, in areas that I don't work in right now specifically, but I would say all the education I've ever had of any kind comes to bear on my healing and on my teaching and on my wand making, my jewelry making, like everything. There's elements that I take from everywhere. It's a like I used
Everyone,
and I used to say that having a law background is like the best basic education you could ever have, and it serves me in all these different fields now that I'm in.
well, people don't realize how much of a contractual nature there is to
Right.
our everyday existence.
True.
Every thought and every word that comes out of our mouth, we are creating and co-creating contracts and realities, and what we will allow in and what we don't allow in. And
Yeah,
having that law back, I got to work in a law office for a little while.
that's
And
right. That's right.
yeah, it really opened my eyes. I had no idea how tricky and interesting law is.
Yeah.
But in working in what I do, as you well know, I do a lot to help people undo things. And when you're dealing in spiritual realms where they've made contracts, it's literally breaking the contract.
It is.
So
Yeah.
I had the experience of going in knowing how to break a contract, but when I worked in the law office, I understood more deeply how you make a contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't understand how easy it is to, it doesn't have to be paperwork.
No.
Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am. So let's talk about these wands.
Okay. The wands.
Yes, tell me, what got you started making wands?
Oh, it's a good story. Um, I took a metaphysical training local to me, and I'm here in the south end of Salt Lake City, Utah. And a friend who was taking the class with me one weekend, so this was several weekends, one weekend she brought a wand made out of plastic or something. It had the 7 chakra stones on it. It wasn't bigger than this. And
Okay.
she told me where she got it, and it had been given to her by her daughter. And I said, "Can I borrow this for until I see you on the next weekend?" And she said, "Yeah." And I looked at it for a good week or so, And I go, I could make one of these. And then I said, oh, I can make a better one than this. And that began, I started making ceramic wands out of clay and crystals. It was amazing. So I took that idea and what I knew how to do really well. Did we go off the air? Did something happen? No. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Leah can edit.
Oh, now I hear you.
Leah can edit. Can you hear me? All right. The last thing I heard was somebody had gifted you a plastic wand.
Okay,
So
sorry.
somebody had gifted you a plastic wand?
No,
it's okay. It's the equipment.
Okay. It wasn't a gift. It was a gift to her, my friend, of a wand that was something like plastic. And and it had 7 chakra crystals on it. And she gave it to me. Sorry, she let me borrow it for a week and I gave it back. And I kept looking at it, saying to myself, I can make one of these. I can make this. And then eventually it was, no, I can make a better one than this. And I started by doing the ceramic wands. And they were made out of clay and crystals. And I decorated them and painted them. And they had every bit as powerful as the ones that I make out of wood. And I am planning to teach myself metal wands, including a ring wand. Wow. Yes. So you're just pointing your ring wand out there and doing the same work as you would with a ceramic or wooden wand. And so these wands then, I just felt compelled to make them. I did not even know who they would go to, and it didn't even matter who they ended up with. And I didn't know. I just made them, and they were so, so powerful. If I look back at these ones that are there that I see you're showing, these all reside now in some magical place that I would not have conceived of when they were originally on my kitchen table in clay form.
Okay, now this one is available. Okay, was the last one still available?
You know what? I haven't updated this in a while, and this one is not available anymore.
This one's not available. Okay, well, I'm going to keep scrolling a little bit and let people see these wands. And yes, they are ending up in the hands of some very magical people, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Very. Yeah.
This one's beautiful. What is that stone right there?
It's a septarian.
I don't think
septarian is really one of my favorite stones.
I don't think I've ever worked with that stone.
Oh, it's amazing. A lot of it comes out of Utah.
Of course, which is where you're located.
Yes. And that could be one of the reasons I like it. I don't know.
This one is gorgeous.
Yes, it really is. It's got a pearlescent finish a white finish on the outside, and it's painted gold on the inside. Yeah.
Wow.
That was one of the first ones that I sold that somebody wanted. It was amazing. Yes.
And now look at it.
Yeah.
Well, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it comes to you.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous, Pearl.
Yeah, that's a cola wood wand. I called it the desert wand, um, because a kola wood is the cactus tree after it's done, and it's
Hmm.
got all these little uh, filigree holes in it, and
Yeah.
this one had one space at the one end where the spherical crystal is, and then it had two spaces at the other end where I normally put a point crystal on one side and a spherical crystal on the other side. This had two spaces, so there are 2 point crystals. It gave it such a interesting dimensional feel and power. The person that ended up with this wand didn't know how to use it, which is okay, and just felt something with it and wanted it. And so she bought it, and whether or not she's actually learned how to use it by now, I don't know. But even if you didn't know how to use it, the energy of it exists and radiates, whether you can actually use them functionally or not.
Exactly. Now I'm seeing the crystals,
Yeah.
and I know you have come to Hot Springs and dug some of your own
Yes.
crystals.
Yes. Yes. So, um, part of some of these crystals, early on, I didn't go to hot springs, but much later, when I got around to going to hot springs, I went to the dig sites and got some crystals, and bought some crystals. Every time I go to Arkansas, I buy probably too many crystals, and
Right. Is there, can you have too many crystals?
yeah, I
Can
don't
you
know. You
really
can't
can
have
you
too
really
many.
have too many
No.
crystals?
No. And now I have a collection of crystals that I use. People have given to me, some that were low cost, some that I dug, some. And now there's a collection of crystals that the students get to choose when they come to a wand making class. They're choosing point crystals and spherical crystals and sometimes decorative crystals. So the crystals that come, if they were a gift to me and I give them to my student, then it's a double gifting energy that really is, yeah, so high. Energy is really high.
Wow.
Yeah.
This wand. This wand's beautiful.
Yes, that's called the fox wand. Um, and you can see by the sphere at the green sphere at the top, it
The
looks like
mouth.
a snout to a fox and sort of
Yes.
ears pinned
I
back.
see it. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. I so like that one. Yes.
So did I hear you say that you teach classes for people to
Oh
make
yeah.
wands?
Yes, I am a wand maker teacher and a wand maker. So I have taught multiple classes now. Honestly, I didn't ever think that what I learned for myself, starting with ceramic, moving to wood, which I never knew how to work with wood until I got into it. And then it was just in here. And I did not know how to teach the wand making class until a 30-day class on the beach. I was part of a class, and a segment was me teaching the wand making to 22, 23 students. And it was, yes, I figured out now how I can get that out there, and then have taught it multiple times more. So it's about a weekend worth of training, and not only do you learn how to put together a wand shamanically,
Right.
and yes, and how you tune into the wood and the crystals, and tune into putting them together, but I also teach wand magic, which is a class that I include in that a wand making class. And that class is how you hold your wand and how you let me get a little practice wand. Okay.
I've got my wand right.
You got yours, yeah. So that's right. Your wand. Okay, so how you hold it either in your right or your left hand, how you use it from the top or from the bottom,
Oh, yeah.
and how you put your fingers around it. And then there are wand movements. So just like you can imagine, going clockwise is to go, increase, move, and counterclockwise is to wind down, slow down, remove, stop, that kind of thing. So in the wand magic class, this is how you learn to move energy with your wand. And it's a short class compared to some of the other classes I do. Anyway, it's amazing. Wand magic class is also amazing. And I teach that separately also. So if you already own a wand, then you could take the wand magic class and learn the energy of moving energy, learn the process of moving energy and what movements to make with your wand in your hand.
Yes, yes. That's huge. That's really, really huge because that's not out there. You teach a lot of things that just really aren't out there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes, you are a very unique individual shamanic teacher.
Yeah. Okay. I don't often think of that in those terms, but yes, I do teach some things other people don't teach.
Yes, ma'am, you do. You teach a lot of things that people don't teach.
Yeah.
Since I showed my wand, I'm going to show it off a little bit.
Oh, good. Okay?
Yes, and I've always loved little tiny pointy crystals.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, you didn't know that. You had no idea. And then we have the jasper, and we both took Enochian magic together. And this is an Enochian wand.
Ah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that one. It's very pretty.
Even when I'm not using this wand, it's at work.
Yeah.
Because I will put it on top of something that is my current, because I have a table, a grid where I'm constantly working on, this is the way I want my life to shape out. And these are the energies I want to bring in. And a lot of times I'll just lay it on top of my grid. So that's
one good way to use it.
I mean, that's the lazy way.
Yeah.
Isn't that horrible? So what are these big classes that you teach? You do the divine intervention.
Right? Yes. So in the curandero lineage that I belong to, with Star Fuentes as the lineage holder, there is it's about 2 week, a 2-week training called Divine Intervention and Spontaneous Remission. Short, we call it DI.
Right.
And during this amazing class, we learn how to use frequency and dimension to bring down the power of God to shift, either spontaneously remit, so poof, it's gone, or to drop it from the body, drop whatever's in there that shouldn't be there out of the body. Now, that can happen during divine intervention, which is a hands-on healing modality. And it's and because that may take a short time to learn, but to practice, we get a lot of healies who would like, some healing, and we give them a very reduced rate for healing, and the students get to practice. And
Yeah.
so that's part of the class, is to learn it and then to practice it. And then there's so many other things that we can cram into our divine intervention class that it's amazing. I've taught it a few times, and it's like each time it just gets better and better. It just gets better and better.
Well, I've taken divine intervention, and I remember when we were working on people,
Yeah,
and I had somebody that, because we spread tarps out,
on the
and
bar. Yeah,
you literally learn. I'm going to go into this a little bit more.
cool.
As a student, you learn how to move through 52 different dimensions.
Yes.
Now, this is not the same thing as 3D, 4D, 5D. This is a different dimensional shift. But you learn how to move through, and it really educated me to be able to say, okay, a portal opens in this dimension, and now I know how to take myself there to see it, and a portal closes in this dimension, and I know how to now navigate to that dimension to easily close it. And there were so many things we learned about all these different dimensional shifts. And so I'm working on somebody, and you have the tarps down because as things fall out of the body. And
Yeah.
what I noticed in our class, it was on about day 3 or 4 of people coming in, getting on the table for an hour or two, and us doing the hands-on healing work. And it was all in that same hour. Several people, we had 5 people across,
Yeah.
and 3 or 4 of them had stuff drop out almost together. And it was, oh, the guy I was working on had something going on with his lymphatics, and got the hands on, and you're sitting at the table, and you're real studious and bringing in this dimension and bringing in this energy and saying this specific prayer, and doing everything, just bringing that conduit of energy and holding that heaven space. And then it sounded like somebody took a bag of rice and threw it on the tarp, and I so wanted to look under the table. I gotta look. And I looked. And so then I broke it for just a minute, but I looked, and there was all this stuff, all this nasty stuff on the tarp. I'm like, it just fell out of him. Oh my God, keep the frequency.
Yeah.
Keep the frequency. So yeah, you do learn a lot in that class. And if anybody really, 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 it's not just about learning this healing technique, because
No.
to me, that was kind of icing on the cake. Everything you learned in that class brought you deeper to understanding. Part of this, and any energy work you do, is understanding to not have fear. You can relate it back to a courtroom. If an attorney goes in with fear, he's not going to win. And you have to have that fearlessness of understanding whatever you encounter while you're healing this person, whatever direction it's fixing to go, whatever color it is, whatever dimension it comes from, you're ready and you're calm. And so a majority of the DI class is in a way that I had never experienced before. I mean, never had I experienced anything that really quickly pushes you in every direction so you can figure out where your limitations are and make the corrections immediately. I mean, it's really a class that's for people that are on their path to mastery.
It is. I'll have to say.
And then afterwards, you get your certificate of ministry.
Yes. Yeah.
So then, if you want to go on and open a church and be part of it, you can. Or if you just want to practice quietly and help people quietly, you can also do that too, and help yourself.
Yes.
Because we really had to look inward to cleanse ourselves to start accessing these dimensions.
Yeah. Well, some people who don't want to create a church, just create the business, and then they still have the opportunity to place hands on somebody legally.
I want to go back and look at some of your wands. Okay.
Good. Okay.
So I'm going to try the screen share again, and let's hope it doesn't freeze up.
Okay, good.
See? All right, share. Okay, so everybody have a little patience with me. A quick screen now. The wand?
I see it. Yep.
No. Okay, hold on. Should be able to see. So that was the S wand, which when I first saw this wand, it just took my breath away.
Really?
I was just so amazed at this wand.
I'll tell you, I went to
Let's see,
Sedona. This wand and the S wand are wood that came from Sedona, juniper wood. And when I went to Sedona to get these, I had some kind of metaphysical sickness. That is, the vortexes in Sedona were a little bit too much for me. And it was like I was drunk, but I didn't drink. And so I'm walking down one of the paths to one of the vortexes, and it was near water. And on the ground, there were 2 or 3 pieces of wood like this, and they were burnt. They were black and, awful, especially like the S one. And I was with somebody who was going to give me a ride home. And I said, you know what, that stick right there wants to go home with me. Is it okay if I take it? She goes, it told you it wanted to go home with you? I said, yes, it wants to be a wand. Can I take it home? And she said, well, if it wants to go, you should take it. So it was kind of embedded in the ground, and I pulled at it, and it was blackened and curvy, and I go, okay, I don't know why you want to come with me, but come on. And we put it in the car along with a couple others, and they made these incredibly powerful wands. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Like
wow.
This Sedona scepter. It was amazingly, it probably sold for $500, this wand.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to this. I want to go back to, you had mentioned the plastic wand, and there is a lot of import type stores that are attempting to dabble into some magic things, but they make them, when you start looking at them, the stones are glass.
Yeah.
The wood is plastic. And if you use tools that are not authentic, it's going to affect the outcome.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. But some people, they're just kind of looking into it, and a plastic wand to play with is all they want. Okay. No judgment. But if you're looking for the real deal, this is the real deal.
Yes.
It takes a lot of energy and intuition to be able to put the things together, that you're not just slapping things together. Everything you do has intention.
Yes.
And deep rooted and some strong, powerful energy.
Yes. Yes. And these wands want this wood for them. They want to be this repurposed wand. I can sense that they know and feel what's going to work for them. Like this one that you're showing here, the Wounded Healer wand.
Yes.
It has a jade at the sphere and I can't remember the name of the crystal. It's a quartz. Okay, it's a quartz crystal. It broke. That little crystal broke. But it didn't want to I could not replace it. it was not allowed. This one
Okay.
did not allow it. So I glued it with two-part epoxy, glued the crystal that was broken, the point crystal that was broken, glued it back together, and it became the Wounded Healer wand.
Wow.
Self-healing, because it would not take a new crystal and it would not release the old crystal. Like, so sometimes they know what they want and they tell me because I can't do what I want.
Right.
It's
Well, I would have to say it's probably more than sometimes. Oh my God, Pearl, this is amazing.
this is the first wand that I ever made when I took my friend's little plastic and I said I could make one better. This was the first one I made.
Wow.
It's probably 25 to 28 inches long. I carved all that ceramic to look like brick.
Yes.
Castle.
Yes. That is amazing. That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Let's see what's next. Now this is interesting. You've got a couple of wands that work like this.
Yeah. This one is like a desktop wand. So it's not really one that you might want to wave around or anything. And it's just unique. I do not know why this one came out this way.
Oh, it's gorgeous though.
Yes, very beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And I love the way the energy flows through it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, is this leather or ceramic?
It's ceramic painted to be leather-like.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
This is gorgeous. And this one is available, correct? Maybe?
No. I tell you, and I apologize. I probably should have gone through that before we got on, but it's, I probably put them on in 5, 6, 8 years ago, and no,
Right.
they're not. Yeah.
Ooh, what is this stone?
It's a jasper that looks like an eye at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the dream wand. It's probably this long, so it's not very big at all. And it has a Herkimer crystal there too.
That is gorgeous. And those are not, Herkimer crystals that big are just not easy to come by.
No.
No, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
This is gorgeous.
It was painted to be copper. It is ceramic, and it's the did I name it there?
No, you have copper pipe wand.
Okay. Yeah, because it looks like a copper pipe. So
Yes.
just quartz crystal at the top and sphere and point, and then a ruby, raw ruby.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to your wand factory in the description.
Yeah, that's on Facebook. So
yeah, it's called Wand Factory with Pearl Bertrand. All right. And I'm just going to kind of scroll down a little bit so we can just kind of see all these wands. This is not something that you just did as a hobby and did one or two. You have dived deep into this.
Hundreds. I've made hundreds now. I couldn't keep up with
Pearl.
putting them all
Pearl.
on.
Pearl. This is
that
gorgeous.
one was really good.
This is gorgeous. Oh my God. You have so many pretty things.
Yeah.
And then you make jewelry now too?
Yes. Yes, I make silversmith jewelry. And last year
is this an example here?
Yes, so this one near the bottom where my hand has a little silver something, that one. I created a space in a wand that had this piece of jewelry, so that this piece of jewelry can be worn as a pendant, and then when you want to put it back into your wand, you set it there, and it just ties with a leather cord to stay
Oh
on.
my God, Pearl, that is gorgeous.
This is the first time I've married silver jewelry in the wand.
But that's so powerful and so
Yes.
personal.
And it now belongs to an amazing healer in Israel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, dragon eye wand. Look at
Yes.
that. That's
Yes.
gorgeous, Pearl.
I'm developing a dragon wand uh, deck of cards, and
Mm.
this is one of them. So it's going to take a while because quality wands take a while.
Yes, they do. This is not something that happens
No.
overnight. And hopefully, in our discussion, we have inspired some people.
Ah, yes.
Yes. And either they will go on and make their own wand and contact you and say, how do I take the class?
Okay. Yes, that'd be great.
Or they will contact you and have you make a wand for them.
That'd be good too. Yeah.
And so we're kind of wrapping up here, or we've got about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about light language. You teach a light language class.
Yes. Now, just so you know, there are multiple variants of light language that are going around. Some of it is a spoken light language, some of it is a written light language. I am a practitioner of the ancient Mayan traditional light language, which is with sacred geometry and color. And this light language has been passed down from generation to generation for maybe 1,000. Well, who knows how much longer than 1,000 years? But we have an actual lineage that goes back 1,000 years, and in the curandero tradition from Mexico, there are different curanderismos, and they practice different things. Some are bone
Right.
healers, some are this, some are that. And in the lineage that I'm in, they are light language is one of the teachings and dimensions. And um, so the light language is the sacred geometry and color, and it's taught in levels. So level 1, you just learn 7 shapes and 7 colors, and it's really basic, and it takes 3 hours, something like that, 4 hours. And then level 2, you add some more shapes and some more colors, maybe 21 shapes and 21 colors or thereabout. And
Right.
it takes a couple of days to go through that training. And then when you're ready, you move to level 3, where there's 150 plus colors and 150 plus shapes. And the class is a 40-hour class. It's like 1 week to get through this class. And the shapes and colors are amazing. You learn different sizes of to do a beginning level, it's a 7-shape grid, and to do a intermediate level is a 49-shape grid, and to do a level 3 advanced grid is 144 shapes and colors. Now, I started over on my laptop, which has the samples, and now I'm on a desktop because my laptop wouldn't.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. With the I've taken one and two, and I'm able to teach one and two. And Pearl and I were discussing possibly putting together a package where people could come in and take all three at a special price.
Yeah.
And so we're discussing that. If you're interested, either message Pearl or message me,
Yeah.
and we'll keep you on that list. And when she and I get together on that, we're thinking maybe February to start that.
Yes.
And it's when you take level one, you're able to write a seven shape grid.
Yes.
Just with level one, you can do things like if there's a crying baby in a restaurant or on a plane, you know what shape and color to send to emanate to make that baby feel comforted and to calm down.
Yeah.
And I'll just give people a little clue on that. Blue is always good for healing. If there is a crying baby, you don't have to know light language, just send them blue light.
Yes.
I'll give a little clue on that. But you learn a lot of everyday practical light language that you can integrate in your normal life just by taking level one, that it's so simple but so profound, and it really changes everything. It's changed in taking light language. I've changed the nail polish colors I use. I've changed a lot of my clothes. I now buy clothes intentionally with certain colors
Ah.
for intentional specific outcomes.
Okay. I did manage to bring up some grids of a 7 shape and 49 shapes. So do I just hit share screen?
Yes, it should work.
Um. Whoa.
I know it gets a little strange. So in
Okay.
just taking the light language one, while you're getting that up, you learn the seven shapes and the seven grids, and you learn a lot about, you can use it for personal healing
Yeah.
and manifestation. There's a power up, there's a power down to help you go to sleep, to help you wake up. There's lots of things that can be done with this. And I found even if you just take one, your knowledge on color and shape is going to be radically changed if you haven't studied this before.
Yeah.
Radically changed. And now all of a sudden, you're going to look at every logo and go, what are they trying to communicate with these colors and shapes? What is this logo doing subliminally to cause me to act the way I'm doing, to make me want to shop at their store? And so you start to see things in a whole new light, because now you understand, everybody understands the backward masking, how they can put subliminals in or under the TV and flash words, or to make you want a Coca-Cola at the movies or whatever, right? But they're doing it right in front of your face with light language, right in front of your face. And so with light language 2, you start to go a lot deeper. Um, these 144, well, that's light language 3, but the, what is it, the 54, 52 shaped grids that we're able to write with the light language,
49.
they can 39 shaped grids. They can really transfer energy, change, transmute energy, create outcomes. There's a lot of benevolent work done with light language to help humanity. That's part of the teachings. And then you move into the 144 shaped grids. Now you're talking about really big change and manifestation. Really big change. The light language conferences and listen to the practitioners speak about the successes they've had is really mind blowing. And I'll just leave it at that. Really mind blowing.
Yes, agreed. So
Agreed.
I have what I have up on the screen right now is a 49 shape grid. And so
Okay.
it's an amazing they're really amazing, how you put it together and how they work and what they're acting on the title. So 49 shape grid, you come
Yes.
up with the title first, and then you fill in that supports shapes and colors that support the title. So they can just they last, and they keep going till you take them down. And taking them down is a
Well,
process.
I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
this. When we put words out there, words are about the slowest way to manifest. When you change it to shapes and colors and put those shapes and colors into a sentence, as in, now that I understand that's what this grid is basically a mathematical equation put in the form of a sentence using color and shape. Well, the universe responds much faster to colors and shapes than it does words.
It does. The curanderos believe there are 5 speeds above light speed. That's how fast. Yeah.
Yes. And so when you understand what it is you're looking at here, and to be able to put one together for yourself, there's just no comparison. There's no comparison. And then when you move on to light language 3, now you take that and multiply it by about 3.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to look into doing a class on that. We'll probably do another interview to back that up at another time. But I just want to introduce people to that and let them know this is coming up. This is available as we move more into the 5D lifestyle. If you can rearrange yourself so that you're not transmitting, part of moving to 5D, from what I understand, part of the challenge for us is going to be being able to be with people that communicate telepathically. Those of us who've been living in 3D will drive these people crazy.
We already do.
Right? No doubt. But with our constant thoughts, and
Yeah.
we're constantly broadcasting, and we don't realize that. But part of taking the light language allows you to change that broadcast to today I'm going to broadcast peach. And
Okay.
just change everything to peach. And understanding what you're doing by doing that. And maybe you might come up on somebody else who's broadcasting a pale yellow, or somebody else who's broadcasting a moccasin brown. But you'll know everything you need to know when you see that color to know where they're at and what's going on without them having to do this.
Yeah.
And so I do believe light language is learning what we teach, you teach, especially light language 3. It's going to help in the 5D transition. Just even by looking at these grids. Even if you don't take the class, just looking at these grids and letting your subconscious understand that there's a whole nother way to communicate. A whole nother way. And it starts to get into the math and science department of the curanderos.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It's the basis for creation. You want to create something different? Make a different grid that has what you want to create.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Pearl, where can people find you?
Well, you're broadcasting academyeh.com. And they can find me on Facebook. You'll have to ask to be my friend, I think. And then on Facebook, we also have a group. It's called Academy of Energy Healers Group. And then you can ask to join the group. And we have our classes that come up. We post them there. We're kind of off for the holidays right now, but we post there.
And everybody slowed down a little bit for Kofefe. So, Pearl, I'm going to thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And I hope to have you back again soon.
Yeah.
And Pearl and I are going to work on teaching some classes together, because we already do. And there's one that we didn't get to, but we will talk about that soon and keep that as its own whole show.
Yeah, good idea.
Its own whole show, because We're working on a very interesting class together.
Yeah.
One that I'll just put a teaser out there. I've taught it. She's the only one that has taken this class, and we're fixing to teach it together. And it's a powerful, powerful, powerful. And no one else is teaching. No one else
No.
is teaching this. And it will help people move into 5D so fast.
Yes.
And it'll help you. All right. So I'm going to ask my friends to go visit Pearl's website, friend her on Facebook, check out the wands. They're just amazing. And know that she is the master wand maker. If one of your friends wants a wand, you'll know the next thing you need to say is Pearl Bertrand. That's who you need to go to.
Thank you, Kimberly.
I love you, Pearl. I love you so
Yeah.
much. And to my audience, thank you for joining. And I just want to remind everybody to go out, do good with one another, love each other, and have faith that everything is going to be amazing.